But you say
president...
You say it as if we still didn't get the same comments from the government, operatives and some other officials at that point in time, always telling us we know where the girls are. We've also had stories of knowledge of where the girls were at that point in time. But till this moment, no one has said anything about their whereabouts.
That is one of the things I would want to appeal to the panel that's been set up by the president to look like. Some people need to be brought to book in view or according to the comment they made. That is what I would say at the essence. Some people who made some comment need to be invited to face this panel and tell us exactly what you meant when you said you knew the whereabouts of the girls. And if what you are going to submit to the panel is not going to be viable, then you need to be taught a lesson. You need to lose your job. You need to be disgraced. Are you getting my point? It means that you are not on point. If you know where they are, what exactly did you do? If you ask me, one of the reasons why I'm passionate about working in the security agencies, the security environment is that I'm hoping that one day my children will ask me that, or my grandchildren. We read in the history that there was a time that 219 girls were kidnapped in Nigeria and they were never found. What did you do about it as a Nigerian? I will be able to go, if the internet is available, then to tell them how many interviews, how many workshops, how many letters I wrote to the governor of Borno State before it happened. So that is my part. If I'm called by this panel set up by the
national... You said before it happened?
Before it happened.
Does that mean you had, a premonition it was going to happen?
Because of the nature of my job, I have an idea of what terrorists may likely do. I can tell you 10 things that terrorists may likely do based on their current action. And coming from that, I think I wrote letter to the former governor. I've written letter to the current governor as well as aftermath of it. I don't know the reason why nobody has gotten back to me from that state, but I have an idea that that state was going to boil based on how terrorists operate everywhere else.
Was there any specifics about persons being kidnapped?
No, it wasn't specific. It was just about the type of mayhem they should be prepared for and what I think they should do to prevent it. I'm trying to get them to be a proactive government as opposed to being a reactive government, because when you are reacting, it's too late. The damages has been done.
Let's go to the 10 things now. As things are currently unfolding, what 10 things did you or do you think may likely happen?
I still suspect more kidnappings to be done because the terrorists that kidnapped 219 girls and they disappear into the thin air are still out there at large.
Kidnapping by who? By terrorists or by...
By terrorists. By terrorists. I still see people being afraid of coming to give information to the government of the day,
but
which is
the
only tool.
That happens
which
normally.
Is the only tool. It's already happening. People are not giving information. People are afraid. You understand? I may not be able to go through all of the 10 things because that's what I sell for a living, and I'm waiting for some people to contact me
to
see if we can discuss this. To some of them, I've given this information out.
But you just said something that you owe posterity.
Grandchildren.
Your grandchildren.
Yes.
What would you do to save them?
Are you going to tell them that it's business?
No, I'm not going to tell them that it's business. But I would also like to tell them that I did not die giving information out about dangerous organization when the government of the day did not do anything to protect my integrity. It's not every information that is meant to be given on air, if I can put it that way, as far as security is concerned. If I'm giving this information out, if I'm giving... Bear with me one second.
I understand. It didn't come across like that.
Okay.
It came across as if it's about business.
No, it's not. It's not about business.
One wonders if you come on a platform.
No.
Freely.
It's not.
You understand? And you're talking about issue like that. It will seem as if you're doing that for business.
No. It's not really about business. What I'm trying to get at now is that if any information I give out on here is almost as good as giving it out to the terrorists too. Do you want to give information that are operationally oriented out on here so that a good person among a good and intelligent one among the terrorists will say, well, if this is what this person is asking the government to do, let us do this.
No, we were talking about what do you think they were going to do, and that was supposed to alert Nigerians to be proactive and not reactive. We hadn't got to the part in terms of what were we going to do to counter it.
They will kill more people. There's going to be a shootout on the street randomly. They will continue to put bombs.
But that's their modus operandi.
No.
That's the way they operate.
That's the way they operate. They will continue to infiltrate the government. They will continue to have cell group like you have cell group in your church. They will continue to use the ground because they are not floating on air. They will attempt to blow up planes in the air. They will make every effort possible to make any given government ungovernable. They stated it in their mission statement.
All of these
are already
new.
They are not new. Terrorism is not new. It is only the effort, our response of government at a given place and at a given time that seems to be new and shocking and leading to more mayhems. The action or inaction of government, the proactiveness or reactiveness of government is just the formula to determine whether you want to curb terrorism or not.
Let's look at how or what specifically you think because I know they talk about that integration between the military, the police, and all the security agencies. Yeah. And now we had Mr. Amuwa talk about how they also need to get the private security involved in this one. How should we approach that part, first and foremost, how the security agencies need to now work with the private security guards to bridge that gap with the public to engender confidence?
All right, and before we do that, we need to first get our policing organization right. You see?
Is that not a long shot?
It's not a long shot.
Can we get them
It's not a long shot. It's not a long
short-term basis.
It's not a long shot. The first thing we need to first do, is to carry out something we call mass mobilization. It may be expensive to hire private security to work with police at the moment, but it will be cheaper, far, far cheaper, to carry out a mobilization project that will make every firstborn in every family in Nigeria a security operative, something that can be achieved within 2 weeks.
What? To get every first
child in a family. That's what's happening in Israel at the moment. Okay. Every firstborn of a family in Israel is a member of the Israeli Defense Force. Every first child, be it male or female. So what that meant is that it's in every household.
Okay. Let's take a quick break.
The security agency.
We'll come back and expand this a little bit. Let's see which firstborn out there may have to partake in this one. We'll be back in a minute. Mr. Bolarinwa was talking about how we need to get every firstborn as a security agency. Are you sure they're going to welcome this in the first place?
It's going to work because everybody in Nigeria at the moment is a member of one organization or the other. You are either a Christian, a member of CAN, a Muslim, a member of NASFAT, a member of Boy Scouts, Girls Guide, Boys Brigade, Man O' War, Kai, Y, name it. The only problem we seem to be having now is that we're not using all those people the way it's meant to be used.
But why firstborn? Because you know how we are in this part of the world.
That your firstborn is very, very important. I'm only drawing that. I'm only drawing that from the way it's been done in the Israeli
but that's
Israeli
the thing.
defense.
We don't have to copy and paste. We could just look at what works for us.
Okay, we can look at what works for us. There's don't forget that
all of that is generating a lot of reactions, and that is why. Because Chamberlain's question is apt. We thought you were going to also give us reasons why firstborn.
It shouldn't be. It doesn't have to be firstborn biologically. I'm just saying that a member in every household, somebody should be responsible for security of lives and properties.
Good.
It shouldn't be business as usual. When we sit down in our house watching TV, thinking that the security agency out there are going to protect us. We also have a role to play. We need to work with the security agencies. We need to be vigilant in our various environments.
So more or less like a new culture.
It's a new culture. We need a reorientation in Nigeria, basically. Our current orientation is to enjoy, out of the 30 days of the month, enjoy 29 days of peace and tranquility, one day of mayhem, then we all start complaining. We shouldn't be complaining. We need to do something. We didn't do that when Ebola came. You did not wait for the Ministry of Health to prevent you from shaking hand or sharing what you are not supposed to share. You took an initiative on your own.
They led it.
They told us.
They told us what to do. So that's exactly what we're saying at the moment.
So there must be...
The government, that's why I said the government needs to initiate a fantastic, sustainable reorientation project, mobilization project, just something similar to what General Ibrahim Babangida did in 1986. When he was going to introduce SAP, Structural Adjustment Program, he did not just come one day and told us to start riding on Okada and start picking things from the bin and recycling. The first thing he did was he introduced MAMSA in 1986. And the way MAMSA was launched was that every children from primary, secondary, and nursery school were asked to come to the National Stadium all over Lagos. Lagos was the seat of power then. And they told us, there was a workshop telling us that, look, the economic ahead is going to be tough. The population has boosted. You can't buy Bata shoe anymore. You may want to start concentrating on buying Abba shoe. So he informed us.
That's not a good example.
No. I'm just telling you. But there was MAMSA. There was mass mobilization.
That's a good example that a lot of Nigerians wanted to see. Because it was a moment that some young Nigerians saw what they call sawdust for the first time. So let's not go there.
No, we're not going there, but they were mobilized.
But I wanted us to look at the NOA. Let's talk about the NOA and what they can do in getting this new culture for us. So if you say we all have to have a good security culture so that we can be aware of what is happening in our locality, in our neighborhoods, and even in our homes, then who should best drive that for us?
I think the best people to drive that will be the National Orientation Agency, the Office of the National Security Advisor, and the Ministry of Interior. These two people need to come back as one hammerhead to work with various security organizations and various arms of the government. Currently, Nigeria...
Are you looking towards the NYSC as well?
Yes. To be honest with you, if you ask me to drive that, I will not allow the NYSC to do anything for about 2 years than to work on security reorientation of Nigeria. They were the best organization that I can start with.
I asked that because I already see that it would seem as if we have a structure in place.
No, the structure is in place, to be honest with you.
Through the NYSC.
Yes, the structure is in place. The structure is so perfect in Nigeria that we have so many organizations that are well coordinated. The CAN is well coordinated. The NASFAT is well coordinated.
So we can take it beyond firstborn.
We can take it beyond firstborn. All I'm just trying to achieve is that if in every household in Nigeria we have people who are security conscious, who knows exactly what to do about surveillance, about how to disseminate information, then we're going to have a safer community.
That will then mean that it won't be just one person. If it were the NYSC, it will almost be everyone who goes through that system.
If the NYSC personnel that is trained is likely to train everybody in his or her church, in his or her home, in his or her mosque, so we're spreading it, while whoever takes the training to will be asked to pass it on.
All right, Mr. Olatubosan Bolarinwa, security consultant, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Well, we'll be back in a minute. Don't go away.
Thank you.